mean, I've been thinking, it was always in the back of my mind, like, yo, it's coming up. Yo, it's coming up. We played Iona. I'm like, man, it's almost Sunday, but it's a great feeling, man. I'm not sad. I'm happy to be a part of this, man. It could be anywhere, but I'm glad I chose Manhattan, man. Great community, great fans. Like, they show us love, and, man, they make it like it's home. I don't got to go home as much because they make me feel like it's home, man. It's just a great feeling. I don't know how I feel the same.
Yeah. Me personally, it kind of kicked in the locker room today before we went downstairs and warm up, and I went to grab my jersey. I'm like, not gonna be putting this on. Might not be putting this on ever again. And I'm like, I mean, I just started to flash back on the times that I had with my teammates, and I realized, you know, how much good and bad we've been through, and how much better it's made us as people.
How big is this win? I mean, you have to probably face them again for the championship. Just momentum-wise, is that really the biggest takeaway?
Canisius is a good team, man. They play hard, man, but we're ready for anybody, man. We just want to play. We don't care who we play against. We're ready, man. Like, that's all I can say. We're ready for whoever we got to go against. It's our senior year. We're not going out first round. I can promise you that. We here to get an NCAA, go to the NCAA tournament. Good quote.
I told some of you guys, final seeding is Iona 1, Manhattan 2, Indiac 3, Canisius 4, and the top 4 in the MAC tournament, just FYI.
Yes, talk about the defense tonight. What were you guys able to do successfully against a team like Canisius? You had a lot of great defensive plays, so just talk about that and what you were able to do well.
I mean, I started, our defensive intensity today started and ended with one person, and that was Sean Stokes. We came out on a mission today. He knew that Canisius' biggest weapon is Billy Barron. Everybody knows that. And he came out, and I've never seen anybody do that. Like, I felt he was totally in his head. He just made it completely difficult for him to even get off of this game. I don't even know how many points he had, but I'm pretty sure it's the hardest he ever worked for him. 10? That's the hardest 10 he'll do.
And it's a great challenge for us. You know, we respect Billy so much. It's a great challenge for us to have the opportunity to get up and play against great players like that. And I think it's a great barometer for our defense to kind of see where we stand when we go against great players like that. But Billy's terrific. And I also think this kid right next to me is pretty terrific.
Speaking about Rashawn's performance today, defense,
Oh, you got anything else for guys? Anything else?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's get the guys first.
George, when they're, whittling that big lead down and they tie the game at 63, what are you guys thinking? What's the tone kind of going in, into that huddle coming out of it?
Just keep us together. We've been here so many times this year. It feels like it's every game, but we've been through it. Like, we got a veteran group. We got good freshmen that listen, that lock in. Tyler Wilson played big minutes, stepping for Mike, but we just lock in, stay together. We're a family. We're not gonna let one another down. You make a mistake, we get it back. That's how we lead. That's how we lead by example,
What are you going to miss the most?
Fans, man. Beautiful place, man. Great place to play, Manhattan, man. I'll never forget this moment, this day, man. Just a great feeling, man. Be out there with my guys, my senior class, coach. You know you're gonna recruit me, man. Feel like you've been here 4 years, man. Great guys, man. Rhamel, Mike Alvarado. So I want to make it big for us, man. Not just for me, just for my community, man. It's just a big accomplishment.
I mean, it feels great,
Seating means nothing.
We work for it, and regardless of where we at, we know what mission we're on, and that's to win everything.
Thanks, man.
I have so much respect for Billy Barron and how good Canisius is and the job Coach Barron does. I really think any of us, I don't obviously congratulate him for winning the league, but 2, 3, and 4 is all moving parts right now. It's been a great regular season for us. 22 wins with a special senior class. Tonight for us wasn't as much about Canisius as it was rewarding our 3 seniors the right way. And I think sending them out the way they deserve. Bob Burns as well, his last basketball game here as athletic director. There's a lot of emotions tonight in it for us that can hurt you or help you. And I'm just really happy with the way it turned out. So I'm happy for George, Rhamel, and Mike. I'm going to miss them a lot. You're not going to be able to replace those guys. Even though I didn't recruit them, Barry brought 3 terrific young men, terrific players into this college. And I was just fortunate enough to be able to coach him. And like I said before, they taught me as much about life and basketball. Hopefully, they probably taught me more than I taught them.
Questions for Coach?
Every year you face a new senior class leaving. What was different about this class?
I just think that the first year, Kadani and Liam and Jib were really special because, it's your first time as a head coach, you're inheriting guys, and you want to see them go out well. And Kadani was such a big part of the fabric of this. And following year, it's Roberto and Mo, who were great people. I actually hired Roberto here. With this class, they impacted the program, and I think what really stands out for me is when I took this job, everyone watched to see how George interacted with me, how Rhamel received me, how Mike took to me. Those guys could have easily shut me out, and it could have really stunted the growth of this program. But because they were so open to receiving me, I think it was the reason we had such rapid growth in our first year, because there was no walls up, there was no stubbornness, there was no, who is this guy? It was just, hey, we're going to learn, we're going to work, we're going to do what you say, you just better be right. And that doesn't happen with 19-year-old men. So for that, and obviously what they've done on the court, but we've been through so much. We've been through so, like when I was a kid, everyone told me to get rid of him. He wasn't doing well in schools. They said get rid of him. Jordan Beamon, it's emotional. It's great to be through with him.
Coach, you were on your staff, you've done before. Do you think this team has potential in a run like you have the team do?
Yes, I do. And I read what John wrote today, and I agree with everything he says. But what people don't realize, and where this game has changed, is we're too analytical. And there's too many people determining things. Like, I love Kemba. I use it all the time. I read it all the time. But it's a compliment to what I do. It doesn't determine. No one can give me an answer on the RPI. You guys right now couldn't tell me how to get a good RPI rating. And I think what happened is you get punished. We did everything we were supposed to do. Played a tough non-conference schedule, did very well in the league. We can't be punished because we're in the MAC. You can't punish us for that. And will we get the chance to have a run? That's yet to be determined. So could Iona. They could have a good run too. So could Canisius. So could Quinnipiac. Now, my thing in this is, and this is what I'm saying, those teams make the NCAA tournament the greatest tournament in all of sports. And you take the 7th team in the BCS, in a Big 10, Big 12, and let's say they play Wichita State or they play Syracuse in the second round and beat them, it's an upset. But you put one of us in there, it makes the tournament. And that's what this is about. We've lost the element of basketball people, the coaches, former coaches, selection committee, making decisions based on going out and really watching teams. What we've turned to is a society of, give me the RPI listings. And if we're not in the top 60, you mean to tell me we shouldn't be in the tournament? It's crazy. Ken Palm doesn't say we're top 40, we shouldn't be in. Crazy. And I agree with what you're saying. But I also think with the way the conference expansion has worked, it hurt our scheduling. So no one will play us. So we have to go play. Like Iona has to go play Kansas. It's not like we get an opportunity to really help our RPI. Why? They took 2 games away from us. So we can't schedule 2 more games to get our RPI where it needs to be. Then you get in a conference where you're going to have some bad RPI numbers, and that's against us. That doesn't mean we're not good enough to make a run. So to answer your question, we're very different than that team, but I think we're just as dangerous as that team. That we can make a run, and I say that because I was part of that staff. I've been there. I've been in the tournament. I've been upset by Morehead State. I've been upset by Cal. Okay, I've seen Siena take the 1-of-1s to the wire. I've been the 12 seed and beat Florida, so I know what goes into it. A lot of people who have a lot of opinions, and this isn't a knock on anyone, they haven't been there. How do you know? So I say that not to discredit anything you're saying, because if I was you, I'd write the same exact thing. But I also think we need to let basketball people, the computer, you can't play the game on a board. There's got to be, man, Billy Barron is really good. Get him on a neutral site. Let's see what he does. Man, Sean Armand is really good. Get them on a neutral site. Let's see what they do. Because the reality of it is, the problem is the 6th and 7th team in the BCS won't play us. They won't play us. Kansas will play us, yeah. the number one team in the BCS, they'll play us, but let's be realistic, we're not gonna be able to go beat them at their place. So how do you really know? So I know that was a little bit of a lengthy answer, but I wanted to share, and I thought you wrote a great piece. I thought everything you wrote was terrific, and I say that, I think this is good because I think it needs to be spoken about. Because people don't talk about the formula that's changed, that the conference has expanded, there's less non-conference games to help your RPI and those type of things. And we have to talk about it.
I think the fact they won't play you is something we have to talk about too, but.
Yeah.
Where is your goal for the season as far as where do you see a successful season versus that we fell short of expectations season?
We're going to celebrate the season in 6 months or 4 months. We want to get to the NCAA tournament. We want to be an NCAA tournament team. That's what we got. You know, when I went through the interview process, they didn't bring me in and say, "Hey, Steve, listen, we really want to be fourth and lose in the semis." That wasn't part of the interview process. You know, it was come in and get this program back to where it was, and that's what our goal is. Now, just because you don't achieve it doesn't mean you didn't have a great season. Because like the problem with this level is the stereotype is it's a one-bid league. But that doesn't mean we're not as good as some of those teams are going to get in. The biggest problem is 68 isn't enough. I think we can all agree on that. There's a lot of good teams. There's more than 68 really good teams out there. But that's for another day.
On the map this year? Or?
Why shouldn't it be? Tell me why.
Regardless of just realism.
Why shouldn't it be? We're second in the country in road and neutral sites. I think we actually lead the country in road and neutral sites, second in the country in road wins. Played a very difficult non-conference schedule at LaSalle, at South Carolina, at Illinois State, Barclays Center, Buffalo. Played a very, South Carolina just beat Kentucky. Explain the RPI to me. Someone explain the RPI to me. I still can't figure it out. So it's not like we tried to avoid it and say, let's get wins. We thought we did a good job. Based on what Iona did 2 years ago, I followed Tim's formula, tried to as best I could. Because I thought Tim really set the bar for mid-major schools at Iona of how to schedule. So I tried to follow that. I think we did everything we were supposed to do. Did we have some tough losses? Yeah, we did. That's going to happen. Okay, we also had some injuries. Look at our record. Half of our losses came when guys were out. So now let's look at that. Why shouldn't we be in the conversation? Because we don't play in the BCS? It's non-basketball people talking, in my opinion.
What do you think about George Beamon's future?
He's a pro. He's a pro. He's a pro. I played with 13. I've coached 8 or 9. He's a pro.
Can you just talk a little bit about, his comeback from injury last year and just getting to this point today, to senior day?
I mean, he's been through mentally probably, him and I have been through, you're talking about ups and downs, and Sean was around a lot last year and really saw it. Just because there were times I'd look at him like, why are you out here? There are times he'd look at me like, why are you being so hard on me? I'm hurt. And just I've never seen a young man, when I say something to him, to challenge him take it personal, but take it the right way, and want to please you. It's such a rare quality. Most people say, man, my coach is on me. He looks at me, okay, coach, I'm going to show you, and then we're going to laugh about it. And that's just how he is. And last night we're texting at 1:30 in the morning. We're going back and forth, and I'm saying, I said to him, I said, listen, congratulate Billy on getting Player of the Year tomorrow, and be respectful about it. And in his response to me, his Player of the Year race isn't over. I said, George, come on, give the kid his credit. And he goes, it's not over. And he takes that personally. Now, I'm trying to motivate him, and that's, I'll use some different tactics with him, but he responds to it very well. He's mature. He's all about winning. I think he sacrificed his scoring per minutes played. If you do him per 40, he averages 26 points per game. So how about that for statistical breakdown? Let's talk about that.
I mean, one of the things that might make that conversation more interesting is the fact that Rashawn had a great defensive game today on Billy. How did you challenge him and get him ready for kind of this game?
Rashad and Rhamel are in charge. We play zone, so it's not Rashawn. It's just that Rashawn happens to we have what we call pickup points. So Rashawn is responsible for a lot of pickup points in our defense, where we want to get people. And we had an idea of where Billy was going to be. Rashawn, you saw on him a lot. Pick and rolls will trap him. Certain pick and rolls will switch. Other pick and roll, other times will deny him. And it's really just quite simple. Ray, where are you from? What's your fabric? Are you okay with someone coming in, a guy who I put in charge of our perimeter defense, Rashawn Stores, and him getting off on us? And if you are, okay. And if you're not, you're not. Because if he does get off, I'm going to have posters all over this building for the rest of the week about what Billy Barron did to us. That's how I am. And I'm going to text Billy at 30 on it. He's going to hear about it from me more than he is anybody else. He doesn't like hearing it. So he comes out and plays.
talk about, you've had a lot of different guys stepping up for you during the course of the year. How special is that for you, and how special do you think it'll be with the upcoming tournament for the success of your
I have to
team?
give Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. We've talked about our depth all year from August, and I think tonight we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys play double-figure minutes. That's been consistent with us. It helps us, it keeps guys fresh. When you do that, you don't have to search for guys to step up because the course of the game is going to allow them to step up. I didn't know Sean Story was going to have 15 today. No idea. I didn't know AP was going to have 8 and 7. You know, but when you give everyone an opportunity, you get a feel now as a coach. Okay, he's playing well. Let me lean towards him, give him 22 versus him getting 12, and you adjust. And that's you know, it's a strength of our team. I just think we have great depth that can help us. Ashton's only a sophomore. He's young. He's got to get a lot better. I think his upside is terrific. I think he can be one of the better Manhattan players ever play here. He's got to stop being so hard on himself, but I love coaching him, and I think his best days are ahead of him. He's a big part of what we do.
I think